So a couple days ago, Bloomberg posted an article talking about some rumored changes to revenue that Twitch is planning about behind the scenes to potentially release this summer, which basically boils down to creators getting more money from Twitch ads but less money from Twitch subscriptions. A bunch of Twitch streamers objected to this idea on Twitter, one of which being Pokimane, who tweeted out, "In my opinion, Twitch should just implement ads that don't directly interfere with a stream. Sidebar, picture-in-picture, overlay, etc. I understand advertisers are essential to make a platform profitable, but intervening with the viewer's experience isn't how they should go about it." LinusTechTips then responded to her by saying, "Those ads are barely profitable for a text-based site. They've been pretty much worthless since 2010. Unless you can pretty much guarantee the viewer can't ignore it, it does nothing for the advertiser. So why would they pay for it?" Linus then elaborates on these thoughts 2 days later on his WAN Show podcast, which Pokimane then reacts to on her Twitch stream. Since it's pretty much played in full over there, I will just show you her perspective of watching what Linus said and her reaction to it.
I didn't. Can someone TLDR? Or actually, maybe I could find it.
I saw a really terrible take from a Twitch creator that was like, Twitch should just have ads that are totally non-intrusive. Like, to the viewer. Like, their ads should just, like, not be intrusive. And I was looking at it going, you know, this feels like that whole thing. Remember when there was the big controversy on YouTube where they basically started enforcing like advertiser-friendly guidelines on videos, and it was affecting the rate at which you could get monetization. And you had this whole outrage from especially certain corners of YouTube that created very non-advertiser-friendly content. And my take at the time, I felt like was very controversial and not received very well, where I basically said, well, yeah, did you expect was going to happen? At some point, there was going to be a reckoning where advertisers were not going to want you. You guys don't understand. You don't work with like national and international brands. They are extremely conservative when it comes to, and obviously not all, there are exceptions, but they are extremely conservative when it comes to the associations between their brand and other things. And so I feel like this is another one of those situations where I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, well, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? Do you have any idea how much Twitch costs to run? And do you think that static banner ads on a website are going to pay for it? I promise you, I give you my personal LinusTechTips guarantee that unintrusive ads are not going to pay for a site like Twitch, no matter how many of them they plastered on the page.
Unintrusive ads don't pay for the forum.
Because no advertiser is going to pay for an unintrusive ad because they don't work, because they don't call your attention away. Obviously. No offense, whoever does not understand how web advertising works, even though it's like how they actually make a living. Sorry, I'm doing a job.
Oh, you didn't talk about the revenue, the rev split.
Oh, yeah, they're doomed. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're losing money on a 50-50 rev split. If everyone else is still doing 70-30, then they're completely screwed. As for having creators push more ads, yeah, I mean, that's just normal. That just needs to happen because banner ads, no, are not going to do it. Sorry, nameless creator. And probably more than one creator. I don't even think that's a controversial take in that community because there were like tens of thousands of upvotes on this super big brain idea that ads should just not disrupt the user at all. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Okay, I think it's really odd because clearly they're talking about me. And if you're going to talk about a tweet that I made, why do you need to say nameless creator? Like, just say my name. People are going to figure it out anyways. And secondly,
I saw a really terrible take from a Twitch creator that was like, Twitch should just have ads that are totally non-intrusive, like to the viewer. Like their ads should just like not be intrusive. And I was like,
and why are you using that voice when quoting me? To be completely honest, it's just really hurtful to see because, I mean, Linus is someone that I really respect. I respect all the content he's made on YouTube. But also, even in regards to the points that they make, I understand that banner ads and other types of advertising that are less intrusive are perhaps not as effective. But that doesn't discount my initial point, which is that, at least in my opinion, really, really terrible ad systems will impact whether or not people want to use Twitch way more than the profit split that a user gets. Also, people love to talk about 50-50 sub revenue on Twitch, but oh my God, it's 70-30 on YouTube. YouTube makes the large majority of their money off ads, not off of their subscription model. So obviously it's easier for them to be a little more lenient in that regards. I think it's just insane that people who are trying to like show they have a leg up business-wise in comparison to my silly Twitter whammon take, like there are so many other facets that you guys are missing out on, especially the fact that, you know what, even if Twitch only did 50-50 models for subscriptions, live streaming on YouTube for any small creator is near impossible. You don't see thousands of people making a living at 100 to 1,000 viewers on YouTube like you do on Twitch. So no, I don't think it's going to kill it. I do think that both of those changes in conjunction are not great. But at the end of the day, my point was not like, my point was not that intrusive ads suck. I'm just saying like maybe that's not the way to go about it. So how about you just take my point for what it is, a decent one that is true on behalf of about every single user that watches live streams, and instead suggest an alternative that maybe isn't banner ads? I don't know. Anyways, not only you that has tweeted that, yes, but
Megasoy tipped $2. Oh, Linus cancelled for misogynism now.
Okay, let me just explain. Yes, a lot of people did tweet that. However, I'm just taking context clues, which is one.
Just have ads that are totally non-intrusive. Like to the viewer, like their ads.
The voice that he uses, and two, he said nameless creator. And I mean, you guys saw the tweet that I made. It was like 50K likes. I don't know if many other creators, like large scale creators, spoke about this particular issue. But it just makes me sad because like, I don't know, this is someone that I thought was really cool, and for them to speak about my opinion, which only comes from the perspective of a viewer and someone who knows how annoyed other viewers are by the current ad system and who was simply suggesting an alternative. Instead, he kind of just like, yeah. Those ads are barely profitable for a text-based site. They've been pretty much worthless since 2010, unless you can pretty much guarantee the viewer can't ignore it. It does nothing for the advertiser, so why would they pay for it? I think this is a fine take. I just, why did they have to say it the way that they did? Nameless creator. It's just hurtful, to be honest. And yes, I'll go back to the trial, but I did want to talk about this on the off chance that he sees it and maybe understands that the way he talks about other creators' opinions can indeed be hurtful, especially when someone is just tweeting something as like, is just tweeting something as harmless as, hey, maybe the current ad system is pissing people off more than it should if we want to make sure that this is a good viewer experience. That's all. But yeah, I would have very much preferred if maybe they gave an alternative instead of being like, this is the ad system that needs to occur. Which, like, okay, maybe it is. But at the end of the day, you still can't deny that it interferes with, at its core, the magic of live streaming. And even if you're going to disagree with my opinion, I just wish they weren't as rude or hurtful about it. Man, and I was just watching a Linus video the other day that he made about, I think, the Tesla Y model. And I was like, oh my God, this video is shot so well. And then I just see him talking about me like that. Damn, that's sad. I think it wasn't meant hurtful. I think it's really hard for me to hear someone mock my voice like that and then also refuse to say my name when very clearly talking about me and not be hurt by that. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I'm just saying how I feel. Because, you know, I can't assume someone's intention. And if he came out and he was like, oh, I didn't think much of it and I didn't mean to be hurtful, then maybe. And maybe he didn't say my name because he didn't want people attacking me for it. I'm not really sure. But the impression I'm getting is not a positive one. And it for sure doesn't feel well. Okay, wait, one last thing. Do you guys think it's weird if I just reply to Linus on Twitter? I think that's better than just saying stuff on stream or whatever, because at least then I'm being direct. And maybe he'll take my feedback to heart and it'll be good, right?
So right after her stream, she did end up making a Twitter response to Linus. In it, she says, Hey, just saw a clip where you discussed my tweet on your podcast. Wanted to let you know that I felt the way you read my tweet in a mocking tone, plus referred to me as a nameless creator, albeit also replying to this tweet, was odd and hurtful. As your points read, I understand that less aggressive forms of advertising aren't as profitable, but that doesn't mean the current system is the best one. In my opinion, further interrupting the essence of what makes streaming special, aka live interaction, is more detrimental to Twitch than 50-50 split instead of 70-30. I also think it would have been more productive to suggest alternatives instead of just putting down my opinion. For example, a rewind button that allows you to view the portion of content you missed during an ad break, or promoting Twitch Turbo, making it cheaper, adding more perks to it, etc. Secondly, I saw you guys compare Twitch and YouTube subscription splits a lot, while lacking quite a bit of context. For example, ad rates and CPM on Twitch are far better than YouTube gaming, even if YouTube gives streamers a better split on subscriptions, which they can afford to because they are primarily a VOD platform. So in reality, the potential profit is smaller, if not still better on Twitch, because it's easier for smaller streamers to make a living on Twitch than YouTube, which caters far more to established streamers. I've known of you and admired your channel/content for a long time, so I wanted to express this directly to you, instead of just holding on to the bad impression I got from the clip I saw. Wish you the best. Linus then responds in a long chain of continuous tweets. He says, "Thanks for the reply. I underestimated the internet's ability to put 2 and 2 together on this one. Maybe some of my frustration at how difficult it is to build a sustainable online streaming service came through." So here I think he's saying we have conversations on the regular, but he spelled it TRGULSR. That's a really weird misspelling. Maybe it's another word that I don't know of, or an alternative spelling to regular that some people use, but regardless, what I think he's saying is we have conversations on the regular with creators who take for granted the free nature of online video platforms, while also not appearing to understand how they come to be free. I didn't seek any drama, which is why I didn't name you, not because you were nameless. I don't find time to watch streams, but I have followed your career for years, as I consider you one of the truly business-minded online creators. Maybe I was also kind of disappointed in the way it felt your take was aimed at stirring up anger towards Twitch about a situation I know from first-hand experience they probably have no power to fix. It's an engineering marvel that Twitch functions at all, and at a 50-50 split even. I'd be amazed if they could keep the lights on without consistent cash infusions from Amazon. At the end of the day, creators need to do what works best for them, which might involve milking whichever platform has the most VC funding juice driving it. But I also wish there could be an attitude adjustment where we build towards a more sustainable ecosystem in the longer term. Platforms use the word partner a lot, but I think both sides could be better partners. As for the Valley Girl voice, it had nothing to do with you. You don't sound like that. If anything, it's an acknowledgement that when I'm not scripted, I tend to sound like that. It's not personal, but it was rude. I'm sorry about that. As a way of apologizing, if you were interested in exploring your newfound multi-platform freedom, we had spent considerable development resources on multi-streaming, and could help point you and your team in the right direction. It's not much, but I don't want any bad blood. I believe in transparency, so I'd prefer to leave the episode unedited, but I'll make sure my team doesn't clip it, and I'll remove the original reply to this. Should be a little tougher to track down. Followed if you want to talk further. Pokimane then responds, "Appreciate the kind reply, apology, and elaborating on your points. I could see how my tweet could seem misinformed, but I was just being short. I'm also someone who's typically more biased towards Twitch, so stirring up anger is far from my MO. We'll DM to continue convo." And that's about it for the public discussion between Linus and Pokimane. Doesn't seem like it evolved into a shit show like most of these dramas tend to do, but I thought the general topic of discussion, as well as Linus's and Pokimane's reactions to each other, were interesting enough to warrant the creation of this video. Anyways, with all that being said, if you have any additional thoughts about this drama, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. We can also discuss things over on my Twitter, or if you want some more direct interaction with me, you can follow my Twitch page to catch when I go live over there. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.